The Quiet Revolution: Why Softness is Your Superpowers. I want to begin today by acknowledging the extraordinary woman whose insights have transformed not just my understanding of leadership, but potentially the future of how we define power itself. Lynn Dowdell, founder of Venn Collective and the Dowdell Experience, is quietly revolutionizing industries by proving that the softest touch often leaves the deepest impression. Her work isn't just changing businesses, it's healing generations of trauma around what strength must look like, especially for Black women who've spent decades believing that survival required armor. We've been taught that power looks like a clenched fist, that success sounds like the loudest voice in the room. That strength means never showing vulnerability. What if we've been wrong all along? What if the most powerful force isn't the hurricane that uproots trees, but the gentle rain that nourishes them for decades? What if true influence isn't measured by how many people fear you, but by how many people feel seen by you? This isn't about being passive or diminishing yourself. It's about recognizing that true power often whispers rather than shouts. It's about understanding that clarity can replace volume, that compassion can outperform intimidation, that intention beats intensity every single time. For too many of us, especially high achieving Black women, we've been operating in perpetual survival mode. We've been taught that to succeed, we must be twice as tough, twice as loud, twice as resilient. We've worn our exhaustion like a badge of honor, our burnout like a medal of achievement. But what if there's another way? Lynn Dowdell's work shows us there is. Through her luxury wine and spirits experiences at Venn Collective, she's proving that softness can be strategic, that empathy can be entrepreneurial, that gentleness can generate profit. Let me share something remarkable that happened when Lynn decided to reimagine luxury in the beverage industry. Traditionally, luxury meant exclusivity, often manifested as aloofness, creating distance between brand and client. But Lynn saw a gap. She recognized that many high profile clients felt premium service lacked warmth or genuine connection. So she created something different. Through her Elevate framework, she infused every event with intentional hospitality, handwritten notes, personalized pairings, thoughtful details that made clients feel seen, not just served. The results: client retention soared, word of mouth referrals multiplied. Venn Collective became synonymous with both excellence and empathy. Today, they lead bespoke events for Fortune 500 companies while mentoring emerging Black women entrepreneurs in hospitality excellence. This isn't just a nice story, it's a business case for softness as strategy. But Lynn didn't stop there. Through the Dowdell experience, she partners with corporations to elevate their customer experience through empathy driven leadership training. She recognized a painful truth. Many organizations struggle to retain top talent because employees feel undervalued or emotionally exhausted by transactional workplace cultures. Her solution: workshops centered on honoring emotional labor, teaching leaders how to recognize unseen contributions while building systems of appreciation into daily operations. Again, the results speak volumes. Clients reported measurable improvements in team morale, productivity, and client satisfaction. Employee turnover decreased significantly within 6 months of training. This is what happens when we honor emotional labor as strategic leadership. When we recognize that the invisible work of building relationships, managing emotions, and creating psychological safety isn't just soft skills, it's the foundation of sustainable business success. Let's pause for a moment and really absorb this. In a world obsessed with metrics and bottom lines, Lynn Dowdell is proving that softness, embodied through empathy, clarity, and compassion, drives measurable business outcomes. This isn't just feel good fluff, this is profit generating strategy. But perhaps most powerful is Lynn's work as mentor in residence through SomCon's scholarship program. Here, emerging Black professionals gain access to mentorship rooted in community building over competition. In an industry where historically marginalized voices have struggled to break into elite beverage circles, Lynn provides personalized guidance emphasizing collective growth over individual achievement. She encourages mentees to honor their unique perspectives and value relational intelligence alongside technical skills. The result? Mentees report greater confidence navigating professional spaces authentically. Several have advanced rapidly within competitive beverage companies after applying lessons from Lynn's soft yet strategic approach. Having risen through the industries where quiet strength was often overlooked or misinterpreted, Lynn sought opportunities to model new paradigms of success rooted in inclusion. Her mentees have gone on not only to win awards, but also to launch initiatives amplifying underrepresented voices across food and beverage sectors nationwide. This mentorship ripple effect continues shaping industry standards around what true legacy leadership looks like when grounded in empathy. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That sounds nice, but in my industry, you have to be tough to survive. Or maybe I've spent my whole career being strong. I don't know how to be soft. I hear you. The transition from survival mode to softness isn't easy. It requires unlearning patterns that may have protected you for decades. It demands vulnerability in space that haven't always been safe for you. But here's what Lynn Dowdell's work teaches us: softness isn't about being less, it's about being more fully yourself. It's about leading with intention rather than reaction. It's about choosing clarity over volume, compassion over correction, consistency over chaos. And the beautiful paradox: when you lead this way, people lean in. They listen more attentively, they connect more deeply, they follow more willingly. This is what I call the quiet revolution, a fundamental shift in how we understand power, especially for those of us who've been taught that our only option was to be twice as tough in a world that wasn't designed for us. Let me share another insight from Lynn's work that struck me profoundly: the concept of elevating every interaction with high touch experiences. In the luxury space, this might look like personalized wine pairings or handwritten thank you notes. But the principle applies everywhere. What if you approached every meeting, every email, every conversation as an opportunity to create an experience rather than just complete a transaction? What if you prioritize connection over efficiency, meaning over metrics? This doesn't mean abandoning productivity. It means recognizing that human connection is the foundation of sustainable success. That when people feel seen, valued, and cared for, they bring their best selves to work. They stay longer, they contribute more, they become ambassadors for your brand or your leadership. This is the power of intentional client engagement, of transforming ordinary business into unforgettable experiences. Whether through luxury branding or daily leadership choices, focusing on high touch service cultivates loyalty and lasting impact. And here's where it gets really interesting. This approach is particularly powerful for Black women who've been socialized to be strong at all costs, who've been told that vulnerability is weakness, who've carried families, communities, and organizations on their shoulders without recognition or rest. The soft girl era isn't about abandoning your strength. It's about channeling it differently. It's about recognizing that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is speak softly, lead gently, and prioritize connection over conquest. It's about dropping the superwoman cape, about learning to say no without guilt, about protecting your peace as a practice rather than an occasional luxury. This is what Lynn Dowdell embodies through her work. She's redefining what power looks like for Black women in business. She's creating space where softness is celebrated rather than exploited, where emotional labor is honored rather than expected, where high touch leadership generates both profit and purpose. So, where do we go from here? How do we begin our own quiet revolutions? I challenge you today to fundamentally reimagine power in your own life, to recognize that the strongest leaders aren't those who dominate rooms, they're the ones who transform them. To understand that your impact isn't measured by how loudly you speak, but by how deeply you're heard. Tomorrow, choose one interaction, professional or personal, and approach it with intentional softness. Replace volume with clarity. Substitute intimidation with compassion. Trade intensity for intention. Then notice what happens. Notice how people respond differently. Notice how it feels in your own body to lead from a place of softness rather than survival. This isn't just about making work more pleasant. This is about creating a world where power doesn't have to hurt, where strength doesn't require sacrifice, where success doesn't demand suffering. The quiet revolution begins with your willingness to put down the armor you've been carrying, with your courage to lead with heart in space that have valued only hardness, with your commitment to creating ripples of softness that might over time become waves of transformation. As Lynn Dowdell has shown us, softness isn't the absence of power, it's power's most elegant expression. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's not surrender, it's strategy. Your softness is your superpower. It's time to let it change the world.